Hello, and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. Today's podcast number 2065. The topic is mindset, and the title is, Should I Stop or Keep Trying? A new nutrition client reached out. She actually originally reached out with just a question and comment related to a motivation podcast she had listened to. We talked everything through a little bit. She decided to work with me, so now she's a new client, which is awesome. But I wanted to share her original message because I think it's a place many people can relate to. She wrote, I have been overweight since high school. I'm in my late 30s now, and I'm struggling with depression. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I feel. I am unhappy in my body. I have tried every popular diet. I've lost weight, but it always comes back. I've even tried just to eat quote-unquote healthy and accept the way I look, but that doesn't seem to work either. Diets don't work, but I can't be happy as I am. What do you suggest for someone like me? I am too discouraged to continue, but I'm too unhappy to stay the way I am. Ugh. Oof. Ouch. So when I read that, I immediately paused everything and wrote an answer back. And oh my gosh, just that's such a depressing place to be. But mentally, it's a common place for many people who struggle to lose weight. But it's also a common feeling for people who struggle to gain weight, who are struggling to gain muscle. People who are working to recover from an injury. People who have had to modify their dreams based on the realization of what their actual true abilities are. I've even talked to personal trainers who wanted to do personal training as a full-time income, but they're struggling to make that happen, and they're wondering, should they continue to do that, or should they move on to something else? So I've helped clients in all these categories and many more that have had or, are currently feeling or have felt that way themselves. And even myself, when I was younger, I hated the way I looked. I worked out really freaking hard with the desire to change my body. I could see friends that I was helping and eventually clients I was helping. I could see their bodies change, but mine never seemed to look any better, never seemed to look any different. So I worked and worked and worked from my, teens to my mid-20s. By my mid-20s, kind of late 20s, I started getting bigger, but I just looked like a pudgy kid who maybe played sports. I didn't really look like I lifted weights. It took me until I was in my 30s to feel like, hey, I finally kind of look like a guy who would own a gym. And I'm still working on aspects of my body now, and that's even after 25 years of training. I had a client who herniated a disc in her lower back, and while we were trying to repair that, she tore her meniscus in her knee trying to kind of playing around with her niece at a birthday party. She loved fitness, but suddenly found herself unable to train to the capacity and intensity that she once could. This made her question her future. She still wondered, could I be that fit and active person that everyone seems to know her as? She wondered what her identity would look like. It's been similar for competitive athletes, people who want to get an elite total in powerlifting. They've been trying for 5, 6, 7, 10 plus years, and they can't seem to do it. People who want to get a pro card in aesthetic sports. 5, 6, 7, even 10 years can't seem to do it. Athletes struggling to make it to, from high school to D1 or D2. Somebody from D2 to D1, from just D1 to pro. I've even helped pros who had injuries and they're trying to get back to being a pro. You also have people older in life, in their 40s and 50s, who are struggling to accept that possibly the perpetual upward trend that has been their life is starting to kind of level off. Or they're even experiencing it starting to kind of slope downhill. They are no longer thinking, I can't wait to see what I can become. They're wondering if they can hold on to what they are. There are many people that find themselves in this mental place. I don't like where I am, but trying to continue moving forward feels overwhelming. What do you do in those situations? Each time I've found myself in that situation, what helped me was to continue to put in effort. Analyze the effort as I was doing it. Make sure it was leading in some positive direction. But hell, I just kept moving even if I was going backwards. I just needed to keep moving. And then you might need to redefine what's possible. You don't want to purposely aim low. You just need to adjust sometimes. So I had a client, she wants to do a figure competition. She's in her 40s. She had competed twice before in her 20s, but she felt like she kind of took it for granted and never really maximized what she could have looked like. So she has those memories, but she's now at a place, her kids are older, they're out of the house. She's looking for kind of a personal identity, a personal challenge, and she's like, man, I wish I would have done better when I was younger. And now that I'm older, I have the mindset, but I don't have a 20-year-old body anymore. So she's struggling. Is mid-40s too old? The answer, by the way, is hell no. Hell no. But that was what she's worried. She's thinking, at 40, can I really look better than I did in my 20s? So we talked it through, and we decided that we would compare based on relative capacity. Meaning she compete to what her best abilities are now. Can she miss less meals than she did in her 20s? Can she train more consistently and more intelligently than she did in her 20s? Can she be more disciplined and know that she got more out of her 40-year-old body than she ever did out of her 20-year-old body? That's how we're going to approach her contest prep. Can we beat our old self? Not in results, but in quality of effort. And that's the victory she really wanted. Could she be better than she was before? And that's what we're going to find out. When you find yourself in that dark place, I am unhappy currently, but I'm not strong enough to continue. Remind yourself that sitting still keeps you where you are. But moving moves you. If it can't be a run, make it a walk. If it can't be a walk, make it a crawl. If it can't be a crawl, make it a drag. Hire someone to drag you through the mud. Get an accountability partner at the gym or a close friend. Or make it more than just about you. Start posting your journey on social media. See if you can reach out to other people. Try to be healthier for your loved one. Be healthier for your kids. Make it more than just about you. Hire somebody. Get the accountability partner. Do whatever the hell you have to do. Whatever you have to do to continue your effort. If you can find a way to keep moving, you will always have hope. And hope is what can overcome depression. No matter how bad today sucks, you still have tomorrow. And tomorrow can be different because you're still trying. The answer to should I stop or keep trying? The answer is always keep trying. If you have any questions, if you need anything, reach out on our website, www.brutalirongym.com. I'm always here. I'm always happy to help, always happy to listen. I encourage you, no matter what, no matter where you are, continue to try. Hope is what you want to keep alive. Hope is what will keep you alive. Okay. If you like the podcast, please share the podcast. If you like the podcast, please consider donating to support the podcast, which you can do on our website. And if you like the information we share in the podcast, you can find more from us on our social media channels. You can find us and follow us on Instagram and YouTube under the name Brutal Iron Gym. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.